Hey, welcome everyone. This is Mike from zozostockwatch.com. This is going to be your stock watch list for the 1st of May. Tomorrow is Wednesday, the 1st of May. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the action that happened in the after hours tonight, courtesy of the Trade Exchange, thetradeexchange.com. LSCC earnings per share beat by 2 cents, revenue beat. There's your chart on that one. We'll scroll through some of these quickly. ARQL with some news after the bell tonight announces approval of one of their products here. ARQL, not much action. You can read that for yourself if you pause the video. Let's go ahead and get into some more earnings. Amgen had earnings in the after hours. Earnings per share beat by 11 cents. Revenues in line there. So in line on Amgen. Stock popped up at the beginning, moving lower a little bit in the after hours. FireEye, FEYE, over in the software application space, cybersecurity, FireEye, earnings per share in line, revenue beat on that name. We're not going to go through all of them, just going to go through some of the bigger names for the earnings. Acme, AKAM, earnings per share beat by 8 cents, revenue beat on AKAM. That stock moving up in the after hours tonight. TDOC, TDOC, earnings per share beat by a penny, beats on revenue, TDOC. That stock moving up in the after hours tonight. EXAS earnings per share missed by 2 cents. Revenue beat. Let's see. McDonald's price target raised to 190 at Stiefel. That coming in the after hours. Mondelez earnings per share beat by 4 cents. Revenue beat. The maker of, I believe, Oreo cookies. Mondelez, that stock holding up in the after hours. A move up. Closed it at 50.85. Currently trading 52.30 on that one. TNDM earnings per share misses by 11 cents, but beat on revenue on TNDM. That one is holding up around $66, actually up $5 from the close in the after hours on that name. DVN earnings per share beat by 8 cents, misses on revenues. Let's keep scrolling along. MXIN earnings per share in line, revenues in line. ENPH, let's see, they beat by 3 cents, beat on revenues for that name. CENX aluminum beats by 4 cents, beats on revenue. And let's see, ARLO earnings per share beat by 3 cents, beat on revenue for ARLO. Once again, that stock moving up in the after hours on that name, ARLO. Twilo, TWLO earnings per share beat by 4 cents, revenue beat. TWLO. And by the way, all this news gets audioed, all right? All these earnings that come out from Trade Exchange, they audio all these earnings. So nice service there. Check it out, the Trade Exchange. So TWLO moving up in the after hours, up a couple of bucks from the close there on that name. Zen, earnings per share beat by a penny, beats on revenue. ZEN, another one in the software application space. They pushed it down. Looks like the dip buyers showed up kind of around where it closed on ZEN, maybe down a couple of bucks from the close. AMD had earnings come out. Not bad. Earnings per share beat by a penny. Revenue beat for AMD. So let's see. They closed this one at 27.63 on the daily here. Currently trading at 28.55 in the after hours. Actually, it was holding above 29. They may have said something on the conference call here. It looks like it's moving down a little bit more in the after hours. Had popped up to that $30 number, but giving some back on the conference call at the moment. ARLO reaches cooperative agreement with VIX Capital Advisors. Some more news there on ARLO. VCYT earnings per share beat by 2 cents, beat on revenue. Let's see, Alphabet's former CEO not seeking re-election to the board. That coming out for Google. Staff Solution misses on revenue. New Skin beats by 5 cents, beats on revenue. Guild, their CFO is leaving the company. Guild in leaving early 2020 for Guild. Not much reaction to that in the after hours. And then we had Apple come out with earnings. So Apple pushing up here. Apple, let's see, I wrote down some notes for Apple. Apple earnings per share beat, revenue beat by 700 million, around there. Services We're up 16%. It guided higher. They're doing a 75 billion buyback for Apple. Margins on their products 38%. And also to throw in the mix, they're doing a dividend increase for Apple. So Apple hitting on all cylinders there. Apple up, closed at 267. Stock trading around 210.50 for Apple on that name. Let's see what other news do we have. There was a crude oil number that came out after the bell tonight. Crude is trading down. It was a build of 6.8 million barrels on the API crude, so that's pushing oil down a little bit in the after hours tonight. Recent IPO, Twist, TWST. This stock had earnings after the bell, down up by 4 cents on the revenues, beats on revenue and beats on earnings per share, 4 cents. Nothing, no real reaction here on this name, so we'll see what it does tomorrow. TWST. Let's see. NBRV was moving down. No news that I saw on NBRV. Was selling off. Came all the way down to about $2. Nice reversal here, all the way back up to where it was. So maybe something got communicated here. The stock moved down, but the buyers showed up, pushing it back up. ARCI was up in the after hours. Isaac Capital with a 20% stake in ARCI. This will be one that I'm watching tomorrow. ARCI flagging here in the after hours. This one has made a nice move. It was up to $9 and change, pulled back to about 450. You can see where my cursor is here on the daily. Currently trading around $5 in after hours on ARCI. Let's see, what else do we have? A top insider purchase tonight on CERN. NBEV coming out with a offering in the after hours here on NBEV, NBEV. They pushed this one down, still holding above $5 on NBEV. 100 million ATM offering here on NBEV. So that stock moving down. So the big news in the after hours tonight is the Apple earnings, and so that stock holding up very well. Should bode well for the markets for tomorrow. Let's go ahead and take a look at our heat map from courtesy of FinViz. So Google took a hit today after their earnings, down almost 8% on the day. You don't see that too often. By the way, the FANG names have reported. So Netflix is out of the way. Google, Facebook, Amazon, Apple are all have reported. So the FANG names are finished with their earnings reports. As you can see, the heat map was a mixed market today. The Nasdaq was down about 67. A lot of that had to do with Google being down. The Dow Jones 30 was plus 39. The transports were plus 40. S&P plus 3. The S&P at record highs, even with Google down. So basically a mixed day. And then now with Apple earnings coming out. So this was your heat map today. Apple was actually down today before the earnings. Banks were kind of a mixed bag here for the banks. And Pfizer had earnings today. That stock up 2.5% on the day. Merck was also with their earnings report up 2.5% on the day. GE had earnings today. Stock moving up 4.5% for General Electric. So let's go ahead and look at the action in the SPY today. As you can see, we came down, tested around the 10 SMA on the daily chart today. They bounced it right off the 10 SMA. We closed at 294.02, but as you can see in the after hours with the Apple earnings and with Apple pushing up, we're trading around that 294.73 for the SPY at the moment. So I'm not going to go through every market tonight. Just know that we're up in the after hours for the SPY, and we're at record highs on the SPY. And the main thing to worry about that we have coming up for tomorrow, courtesy of the Trade Exchange calendar here for tomorrow, it is a Fed day tomorrow. The FOMC meeting, the announcement will be at 2 o'clock. They're not expecting a rate increase at all. No rate increase is expected, but we do get the conference. Jerome Powell will be asked questions, so he could answer anything. So we don't know. Maybe that might whatever he says might move the markets a little bit tomorrow. That all happening from 2 o'clock, and then the presser is at 2:30 tomorrow. So Fed Day in the afternoon for tomorrow. Then we do get the employment report coming out on Friday. Those numbers coming out on May 3rd, Friday at 8:30, the employment report. All right, so a couple of things courtesy of the Trade Exchange. This is their calendar. I put this calendar out pretty much every day on my Twitter feed at Zozo Stockwatch. So if you ever want a copy of the calendar, just come over to my Twitter feed and you can grab that link for yourself. So tomorrow before the bell, we have CVS coming out, Amrin, AMRN, Humana will be reporting, ST Lauder, EL, the symbol there. After the bell tomorrow night, you have Square, Qualcomm, Zynga, Cree will be reporting, and then you can see your earnings coming out for the rest of the week. So another busy day before the bell. Amrin will be closely watched by us, and then Square after the bell tomorrow night for Wednesday. This is courtesy of Earnings Whisper. So some stocks I'll be watching for tomorrow. We'll make this video fast. I don't have that many for tonight. AMD right now though doesn't look too good, but I'll be watching it. Maybe it'll bounce. AMD, WDC. I'll have this one on watch. Watching this one for a continuation move for tomorrow on WDC. Came out with earnings today. A high 51.54 on this name, so I'll be watching WDC. MU will be on watch for tomorrow. Micron to see if that wants to turn back up. Let's see if it can get back above this 42.35, 42.25 for Micron. STX also had reported earnings today, the 30th. So this one coming up to the 20 SMA. The high on this was 48.83. Maybe over that 48.50. 48.60 area maybe propels it back above the 20 that 20 SMA on the daily chart here. Has that $49 area up ahead also, so that'll be on watch. ARCI with that news tonight, 20% stake, popped up to about 520. This one will be on watch for tomorrow. ARLO popping up in the after hours tonight. This name will be on watch for tomorrow. We'll see how it sets up intraday. BE, an oil name, basing underneath that the highs here and that $14. $13.90 was the high today. So if it can take out that $13.90 or $14 on BE, volume today 2.3 million shares on this name. JMIE, kind of a little bit of a pullback here. IPO, we'll be watching this one for tomorrow. Maybe it'll turn back up. LEVB has been very strong, looking for maybe like a red to green move in this name. NOVN had a nice move up today, over 16 million shares in NOVN, biotech name. Right now in after hours trading at $1.64. So we'll see how this sets up intraday. Pins finally pulled back, right? Pins popped up. Let's see, the high on this name was 35.29. They pulled it back down to $30. We're still above the 5 EMA here on pins. We'll see if there's any kind of bounce back in this name. PRPO. This one popping off the 20 SMA, holding above $5 on PRPO. 1.3 million shares traded in this one. We'll see how it sets up intraday. QHC. Turning the corner, getting up over the 50 SMA, high on this name today, 210. Keep an eye on it if it can get up over the highs. Actually, in after hours, trading at 211. So we'll watch this one tomorrow. Roan battling with the 50 SMA, 2.2 million shares. Had a pop up here to the 50 SMA. 50 SMA on this name is at 624. So maybe if it can get back over maybe $6 on Roan, we'll see. On this one, not doing too much in the after hours. TEUM. Bounced back today. It's right back up near that resistance spot. So maybe on this one over 460 on TEUM. Twitter on watch, right? Battling with this $40 area, maybe back over $40.11 for TWTR. VTVT perking up a little bit. Volume 1.1 million shares. Had this pop the other day. It's holding back above the 20 SMA, holding above the fast moving averages on VTVT. Not a favorite, but I'll have it on watch. XXII was popping up today, over 3 million shares. This is a component of the marijuana ETF, the MJ. So XXII will be on watch for tomorrow. I like the volume. I like this candle. We have that 225 area up ahead. Keep an eye on that one. ZM, we actually traded this one in the service today. And we got in this one on the break of $70 on ZM. We got $1 for a lunchtime trade. It was mentioned on CNBC. Got some momentum from that and pushed up. So ZM will be back on watch. It's a little bit stretched here now. On that break of $70, though, was a nice entry for a nice pop for today during the lunchtime hours for ZM. So we'll leave it there for tonight. The IWM held in there today. This is what folks were watching. Let's see if we can get up over that 159 area on the IWM, and then maybe we can propel it up through 160. So we'll be watching that to see how this reacts for tomorrow.